Hey, good morning. It's Squawking 1200. Surprisingly woke up to X-Plane 11 Public Beta 2. Looks like they cleared up a handful of bug reports. We've just spawned into Kilo Alpha Charlie Kilo. If you were with me last night, that's where I was attempting to head when I had a crash to desktop. I have World Traffic 3 running, and I have Pilot to ATC. I have just enough time to do a little bit of pattern work, and then I got to kind of get a move on the rest of my life. Just going to open up my chat. Do a little updatey. 1101 beta 2 pattern work with Pilot to ATC post. Alright, we're gonna just call for some taxi VFR. Hey, good morning, fair for you to envy. Just updated to public beta 2, or 11.10 public beta 2. Just have enough time this morning to do a little bit of pattern work. Alright, let's see. Looks like world traffic's working. I definitely hear some more aircraft in the background. There's no taxi routes defined for this Nantucket airport. So it's one of the next things up on my list is learning how to generate taxi routes. I started modifying one of my smaller airports. I think it's working reasonably well. The new sliders for the general aviation have definitely spawned in more aircraft. We'll just take a quick look at the radar. Yeah, I guess probably in Nantucket this time of day I wouldn't expect many aircraft. So you got 1, 2, there's 3 of us up here. We zoom out. Yeah, it's working. At least I'm seeing some stuff landing and taking off, so I'm much happier with it. Like I said, still need to learn how to edit and create taxi routes. It's on my learning list. Cessna 12 Bravo ready to taxi.
Cessna 12 Bravo taxi to runway 33 via taxiways Foxtrot, Bravo. Hold short runway 33.
Taxi to runway 33 via taxiways Foxtrot, Bravo. Hold short runway 33 Cessna 12 Bravo.
Yeah, there's a list of fixes. Which one? Yeah, it's actually got a bunch of fixes. A lot just let's see, looks like there's some fixes for the Baron, some flaps, some doors. Yeah, for some reason yesterday I had just like crashed the desktop in the middle of nothing. I was just getting going. And then, boom, crashed me out. Wasn't sure exactly why. And it was late enough I didn't check the log. So I got a taxi to runway 33. So looks like I'm gonna go this way. Hey, there's somebody landing. So I think the aircraft are, they're just kind of using the airport now for primarily for landing and taking off. It doesn't seem like it seems due to lack of taxiways, it's not really generating the traffic on the ground. The ground shake is gone. That's so nice. I didn't, after just not seeing it, I didn't realize how much it aggravated me. I guess it was one of those things that when it started off at the started off with it, you kind of just put it to the back of your mind. So, it doesn't give me a hold short here. There's another person. Wow, Nantucket this morning. Aircraft in the sky. It's going to be so nice when the air traffic actually works together with you with World Traffic 3.
Range 161, contact departure.
Wait, 161, get in.
So far, I've noticed a significant decrease in CPU usage. Huh, here's somebody spawning into my face. It's way below the GPU, which it hadn't been. Huh, he spawned in right in front of me. This Baron. Just because he's got 2 engines doesn't give him the right of way. I did not think this was an active runway here. He just took off. I probably just scared him. Should probably have my taxi light on. Being a tiny bit lackadaisical with the rules. Yo, that's rude. Hey, I'll take that. I'd much rather have the issue of traffic, you know, just to see it. Doesn't necessarily have to be 100% accurate for me. It's funny, it wanted me to go down to 3. The brakes work better too. The noticeable difference in yeah, I think building the ground traffic routes was something. I don't know if the developer realized how few ground traffic routes people were actually putting into the scenery. So it seemed like a bunch of add-on stuff. Didn't really have traffic routes. Yeah, it's aggravating. I'm learning how to do it a little bit. I was able to clean up some of the static aircraft, and that's as far as I got. I'm watching the Captain K-Man video. Let's see. I'm a 3-3. Hit the run up. Basically the run-up is where you check your magnetos for spark plug following. You run it up to, like, I think most people recommend about 1500. Oh, Captain Caveman? Captain K-Man. Oh. He's on YouTube. He's got great videos. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Alright, yeah, his videos are really, he talks reasonably, like, it's smooth, and I think it's something that I definitely can work with. Alright, let's see. Also, there's another guy from Europe that I'll have to find the link to his stuff. Let me just see if I can pull it up on my phone if I have them saved. The one thing I told Captain Caveman is if you could do it, like, start smaller and then build up. And then his response is, well, it's essentially the same whether it's a big airport or not. And that's true, but I can either, it's easier to rewind and comprehend for me to go back and forth in a shorter video. This guy, Jan Vogel, it's probably Jan, Jan, Janvogel. He's got a great series too that I've started to look at, and he does it like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in like shorter videos. Let's see, let me take off here.
The Lancer,
Cessna 12 Bravo, ready for departure to remain in pattern.
7798.
Cessna 12 Bravo, contact tower on 118.3.
Tower on 118.3 Cessna 12 Bravo.
Cessna 12 Bravo, ready for departure to remain in pattern.
Cessna 12 Bravo, winds Harcom, altimeter 299er2 cleared for takeoff. Runway 33, fly a left-hand pattern for touch and goes on runway 33, remain on this frequency. Cleared for takeoff, runway 33, fly a left-hand pattern for touch and goes runway 33, will stay with you Cessna 12 Bravo.
Alright, that seems to be working pretty well.
Worldwide 27, you can proceed direct Bedford, contact.
Hey, thanks for the link for that chatter. For the chatter development, helping. I gotta see if I can just go through the motion and paperwork type of stuff and see if I can carve out some time. I found the flight dynamics were really totally changed. And it's weird. Let's see. The aircraft. Actually, it seems like yesterday I was taking off on the runway. It seemed like oh boy, birds. It seemed like yesterday I totally took off on the wrong runway. 33 must be going the other way. I must have took off on 30. I'm gonna get fired by the air traffic control. Okay, I see the way I misinterpreted the way the markings were.
Right there, Zip Fighter shuttle, they're gonna go to.
Yeah, there's I noticed that uncoordinated, it seems like there's a lot more rudder work going in. Yesterday when I started up the sim, I could feel more organically like the wind pushing me, which was kind of neat. It was just something that I hadn't really expected. I was like, hang on, it totally felt like a different sim.
494, Bradley Brown, runway 6, back TV at Sierra Charlie, wind calm, altimeter 2991. That's with same weather.
Yeah, I'm just going to land on 3-3, you know. I'm going to correct this thing here. Probably totally busted my altitude, yeah. I found a weird increase in, I think, in smoothness. I think it's to do with the CPU usage. Look, it's down to like 1. I have everything more maxed out. See what I'm not going to change the reflections. That has to restart the sim. But I'm flying up in the 30s. See, if I follow the shoreline, go directly into the sun, that should put me on there. Yes, I think, I don't know if it's necessarily an increase in frames as much as it is a decrease in the CPU usage, which is going to allow, I think it's going to allow more movement for higher settings for most people. Yeah, I think you're going to definitely see some improvements. And weirdly, it's like it's a little bit, it's more fun. Like it's got some, it's tricky to quantify exactly what the feeling is. I'm taking that puny little runway right there. Cessna 12 Bravo, downwind 433.
Thank you, 31,
Cessna 12 Bravo, call turning final for runway 33.
good one.
31.
Alright, back to near pattern altitude.
Okay, Dave, Charlie, Pop, Brother, approach, Brother, Altimeter 2991.
It's weird. I think I'm watching the other aircraft.
We'll work on a short cut, it'll probably be Norwich, so.
Either they're taking off against the wind, or I'm landing with the wind. Somebody did complain about that with world traffic. I noticed like yesterday a couple pauses, but I don't know if that was directly related to the traffic or if I was near the edge of an ortho tile. I did use the default Cessna for a few minutes. It was with the G1000. It looks pretty neat. They put a lot of dirt on the window. Excuse me. Which I thought was kind of a nice touch. Some people thought it was a bit too much. The hell is the runway? See, I can almost feel the aircraft being pushed to the left.
124.4. Port 94, Bradley Tower, wind calm, runway 6. Hold 4 tilde.
Evening, Harper, picture 4711 with you, 13.5, sitting, Madison 1000 with.
Bridgewater 4711, Bradley Tower.
It definitely, like, at the beginning of the startup, when it's loading, it gives me a ton of pauses. But I haven't had any, just doing these few little laps there. I'm slow, I'm gonna crash this thing. Cessna 12 Bravo, turning final 33. For touch and go. Damn it. Cessna 12 Bravo, turning final 33 for touch and go. I hate when I get off on that. Say that.
Runway 33, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Cessna 12 Bravo, turning final 33, touch and go.
Cessna 12 Bravo, winds are calm, cleared for the option.
Alright, there we go.
33.
No, see, I took off on the right one. The heading's messed up.
Hello, it's 717, Mike Kilo. I believe we have a...
Make a quick right-hand turn. Oh boy. I need some power.
Global 717, Mike Kilo, Bradley Brody, altimeter 29901. Be direct center for the ILS runway 6.
Oh boy.
Okay, 2991 and direct center, Mike Kilo.
Not bad.
North Mike Kilo, here's one.
Yeah, the heading is messed up.
Okay, about 3,000 for the ILS 6 Mike Kilo.
See, it wasn't me. It was it's the, that's a bug.
2991.
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe they, the edge of the water, this is ortho tile, so that might be helpful. See, I was on the right one. The heading is just messed up.
You guys think you'll be able to get down in time from there? Do you want me to vector you a little bit?
It's runway 33.
313, make a left-hand down for 4, head up out there, done.
Thanks, 31.
Hey, you know what? This thing's broken. Hang on a minute.
And our set might do it. You still maintain 3,000.
Okay, we'll maintain 3,000, Mike.
Failures. Maintenance. Hang on a second. I gotta pause this thing for a minute. Because this says 3-3, which I thought I was correct. Let's take a look at the failures. Instruments.
As I approach Scouts 4896 is with you descending at a 13,000 across Stella 11,000 officer.
Scouts 4896, Bradley Approach by the altimeter 29901.
Where the heck would the compass be?
We'll expect ILS 6 Scouts 4896.
United 494, contact Boston Center 132.65.
3265 for Boston. Good day. United 494.
Two State, Charlie Pop, contact Providence Approach 123.67.
30 to accept the localizer.
Okay, 030 to join, thank you.
Brickyard 4711, flighting 360, next bomb first course.
Heading 360, Brickyard 4711. Down to 5,000 Scouts 4896.
Yankee Tree 1, contact Westover Tower 134.85.
45
Yeah, they can put ads in during these videos. But this is weird. This is busted. So it's a vacuum gauge. My vacuum's green. All these are good. The vacuums run off that engine.
Over 7 Mike Kilo, 11 miles from Honey, maintain 2,000, correction 3,000, till Styles or something.
Alright, back to flying.
Runway 6 approach.
Okay, 3,000 till Towers, clear the ILS.
Alright, let's try not to bust the altitude.
711,
So I'm just going to call it runway 6.
Total 7 Mike Kilo, maintain 180 knots for greater to Honey.
Okay, 1 year not greater to 100 Mike Kilo.
Yeah, so I do think they did something with the water. I don't know if it's just time of day.
Stella at 11 to be officer.
Jet 789, Bradley Bush by the altimeter 29901. Expect vectors ILS 196.
Expect vectors,
Skywest 4896.
So if you want to try back to VATSIM today, the Boston virtual air traffic controllers are doing 60 hours worth of coverage.
Roger, then you remain on your present heading 365.
360 heading. It's going to watch 7 right there, 4711.
I guess that's why when on the checklist it says check to see if your compasses match. It says 1624.
Jet 789, just going to maintain 5,000.
Yeah, it's they're doing a thing called I think it's also included in this Cross the Pond, where basically you sign up for a slot for a jet, and you go from the voted in spot, like in Europe, and then they vote in a spot in America. So they fly from like Heathrow to Boston, and it's one of their bigger events that they do. They'll have people jets will be flying in all day. And they do it for 60 straight hours, so anytime round the clock they have somebody manning the controls. It's pretty neat. I think it starts at 10 or 11. Not quite parallel to my runway. That is a long flight. That's one reason why I don't really take to jets. I don't want to fly for like 8 hours. 5-hour trip to, you know, California. Actually, maybe like a twin turboprop type of deal. Alright, fuel pump on, landing light on, mixture rich. First notch of flaps. So who do I file this bug report with? Airfoil Labs, or do I file it with Laminar Research?
Evening, Bradley, November 501, Papa Golf, checking in, 12.8 for 1-1.
Cessna 12 Bravo, turning final 3-3, touch and go.
Cessna 12 Bravo, winds are calm, cleared for the option runway 33.
Cleared for the option 3-3, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Gulfstream 818, Mike Echo, Bradley, approach by the altimeter 2991. 501, Papa Golf, Bradley, approach by the altimeter 2991. We expect the ILS, limit 29 Worcester. Alright, we'll expect
Yeah, I'm just a simple X-plane guy. Yeah, I think I'm going to file with Airfoil Labs. No, water's looking good, scenery's looking good. So far this flight, other than a weird compass alignment.
Talk 1, Papa Golf, instead of making 10 now. Instead of making 10, check out. Detective 789, contact approach 123.95.
Yeah, tiny little pause right there, but
Clearly approach, 718, 4,000.
On a 4,000, yes, 4896.
That was 4896. Right at 180 there.
Heading 180, yes, 4896.
Exec jet 789, Oscar 7,000 over 5 Dog 39.
There's a 789 Bradley approach, traffic.
ooh, excellent landing.
31,
I might give it another week and see what people are doing. You know, and I think it's any beta is like proportion to how many add-ons people have. One guy reported like his Carenado 208B, his X-Plane 11 version, was kind of messed up handling and compass-wise. I think he said so. It could be something that's just a general bug. Let me check on that with the number of pauses at the airport. What I noticed yesterday, when I spawned into a bigger airport, I tried it in Seattle. I got an insane amount of dirt plumes. It reminded me of like a desert sandstorm. There was so much like brown dirt flying in the air. Hey, here's a guy coming. So that was really annoying. I would try to wait for that to be to make sure that they fix that, or somebody fixes it. What time is it? 9?
My kilo activity is Charlie, Echo, Tango, 0. Charlie, Echo, Tango.
Yeah, so far today, I'm going to say the smoothness is really good. Hey, I just got another new subscriber to my YouTube channel. Ooh, I'm close on this one. Cut this pattern a little close. I'll head out to the oh, no wonder why I'm still on flaps. Surprised I didn't rip my wings off.
It looked like we might get that band BMC, but we're not in the moment. Because it's 789, 718, 3,000, 500.
Right on tower, sky 4096 on official runway 7.
That was 4896, Bradley Tower, wind 040.
So I got a couple guys fighting over some space here. I don't know, this all look like this stuff looks really it has a smoothness. What I also noticed was I think the anti-aliasing just looked better. I would say there was some kind of improvement with the anti-aliasing. Some people report that they change back pretty easy. Oh, you don't have to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you don't want to. This is that's just like an extra bonus. I just kind of throw my videos from here up to there. Yeah, one guy reported he's having a little trouble changing back, but I guess the procedure is you just rerun the installer and then it kicks you back. So you uncheck betas. Oh, there's a pause.
Yankee 315 from Belch, turn right heading 200, maintain 2,600.
It wasn't a big pause, just enough, you know, just like a more of a
CRJ in front, slow to about 110.
more like a quick hiccup.
Highlighting 58 traffic, the regional jet 5 mile final, turn
Cessna 12 Bravo, turning final 33, touch and go.
right heading 095.
Cessna 12 Bravo winds are cleared for the option runway 33.
I think just upgrading it to get rid of the ground quake is almost worth the whole thing. The flight dynamics, definitely worth it. The weird deviation on the compass right here, that's a little bit weird. But I think overall these flight dynamics, it has a better feel. So I don't think I could have done that in the previous version. Yeah, if you run 2 copies, definitely, you know, you run your backup copy. Yeah, you know, have your backup copy, and then have your beta copy. I noticed a lot less shimmering. You know, in the past, like a bunch of these buildings, I think shimmered on me a lot. I'm almost tempted to see how the draw shadows on scenery is. You know, I saw a few screenshots from people with the London scenery. That looked really nice too. Oh, yeah. Got another new subscriber to my YouTube channel, Stephen Powell. Thank you. Wolfgang Dorman. Thank you. I don't even have to see how many people are actually in chat. Oh, we got 4 viewers today. Excellent. Welcome everybody to Squawking 1200. Just doing some pattern work at in Nantucket. There's a tiny pause right there too. So maybe what we'll do, we'll fly north. Actually, I can't even use my compass really. Yeah, no, I think I would love to see the water look like Battlefield 1. Yeah, but I think you're totally correct on what it would do to the frames. Heading out of the pattern here. Let's see if we can get these ATC guys all mad at me. Cessna 12 Bravo, departing pattern.
Clear touch and go.
Oh, maybe I missed that.
Cessna 12 Bravo.
Cessna 12 Bravo, departing pattern. Doesn't like that. Yeah, so the compass is almost off by like 60 degrees.
Skywest 4896, turn right, hold down, remember 60.
Hey, Captain Duckman.
Bravo Sierra from runway 33. Falcon 1 Papa Golf, just going to maintain trees down.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, any programming thing, yeah, add one thing, you take away something else, and it, you know, it's like most things, finding that compromise of what sacrifices do you make to, you know, I'm sure anybody that flies amphibious planes is still not yet enjoying X-plane. Same thing with you know, the helicopter guys. You know, I didn't realize we couldn't go backwards in X-plane. I don't know how you could fly a helicopter without being able to go backwards. Just seems like it would have been a natural thing.
Section 710, Echo Bradley approach, Bradley Altimeter 29901, keep that vector for the straight in ILS for main 6, and lower 3 miles.
So,
Would you, 299
yeah, someday I'm going to install weather. I'm just kind of letting it really settle out. Before I make the commitment to one, I want to see like if Active Sky comes out. I'll give it to like after Christmas. So on this vacuum gauge, can I just turn this and align my compass? Would that work? So let's try it. Maybe I did this. Well, maybe one day I thought I was turning the heading bug. So I'm on like 50?
Delta 1 Papa Golf, fly heading 110.
Yeah, I wonder if it... Okay, now the heading... maybe I did just rotated the magnetic compass, or the vacuum compass. That totally could have been my fault. Alright, no bug report needed.
Section 71710, Echo 15 miles to center, cross center at or above 3000, third straight in ILS, almost
So what I think, I'm going to vote that we just shut down really quick and then we spawn into Boston. I'm curious about the frames hit. And then the World Traffic 3. We're going to miraculously see a little jump here. Hey, how about those Yankees? Speaking of Boston, I wish I had a Yankees livery. Yeah, Captain Duckman, that's kind of what I've been doing. Everybody had complaints about X-Enviro and it seemed like SkyMax 4.5 or whatever it was. Some people are like, yeah, you know, one's good for higher lofted clouds, like if you're in a jet. It seems like X-Enviro was the winner. It seemed like if you were a VFR pilot, like SkyMax Pro 4.5 was one of the better ones. Ultra Weather was kind of in the mix, and then when I was at Flight SimCon and they mentioned Active Sky, and which has a great reputation. I turned up the sim volume because I wasn't hearing. I watched a couple of my replays. I don't think I had enough. I don't think you guys were hearing enough of the background. How's the volume and stuff? This might be a bug because the magnetic compass has me at 3.3 and this came in with a different heading. It looks like I might have to. Oh, thanks for the feedback on the audio. Alright, it looks like it matches up a little better. Let's take a look at world traffic, flight setup. We'll see if we can, we'll just max it out. Might crunch the sim a little bit. Yeah, that's the, yeah. Hopefully you guys can see some of the crazy dirt that I noticed yesterday. That was one of the things I was like, boy, people are going to have a, firestorm with that. Every time a jet would spool up, and at these big airports when multiple ones are turning on, it was, to me, if you play Battlefield 1, it's like a sandstorm. You couldn't see anything. Why didn't the flights create? There we go. Got to press the button a little bit more. Okay, yeah, no, maybe that's going to definitely factor into, active sky, for me. Because it's a texture thing. A lot of it is, you almost want to feel the clouds. So definitely looks like the frames are down. Let's check the radar. Is that enough aircraft? Yeah, that should do it. If this is going to bring your sim to the knees. All right. Yeah, I think it is working, and it's heavy on performance. I think it's got a little instability on my system too, but it's been hard to really just trace it down to world traffic. See, there's a big pause right here, and that might have just crashed the sim. It's going to crash the sim, or it's going to blow up the alternator. Or the starter. Yeah, crash the sim. Yeah, so I think it's I think that's a world traffic thing. World Traffic 3 was doing pretty good until I think I flooded it with planes. Yeah, using the Rex too. It's a lot of things seem to go hand in hand. And with, as I would think from a developer point of view, waiting for the stability and of these programs and have things level out, kind of like as a consumer, what I'm waiting for. Yeah, so I would recommend not maxing out World Traffic 3 while you're using Pilot to ATC in a Mr. X Boston Airport. Let's see, probably. And this is, to me, this just takes forever. I can't wait to finally, get this thing a little bit more stable and move my, start messing with the shortcuts to launch with my SSD drive. Yeah, I have a pretty good machine too, and obviously I think I'm going to take that advice and move my sliders down a whole bunch. Yeah, Captain Duckman. Yep. No amounts of processing power and RAM are, it's amazing, like the technology and how fast we can add stuff into it to cripple it. I think if X-Plane said you were guaranteed to run whatever you wanted at whatever setting with a 10-core processor and an SLI, Pascal Titan X's, whatever, I think everybody that owned the X-Plane would probably go out and buy it. So so you took Symlink out, and it's rock stable. That's good. Yeah, that's another one of those trial and error things. Kind of like what I did. Crank up the World Traffic 3. Poof, death. You start removing one item at a time, and you get it to work. Hey, it's working. So, Captain Duckman, are you using the latest? Are you using the beta, or are you using 11.05? Oh, another cool note. Yesterday I got hosted by John Fly. That's like a bucket list item. I went to I went from like 2 or 3 guys in the chat to 40. All right. Where was I? I think I let this thing stabilize for a second. No, I hear that. Stability is one thing. It's a huge deal. So, this is Boston. We don't need as many GA. We don't need that much traffic density. Lower this down. We don't need to generating aircraft in California. Number of GA flights. Come on, slider. I just got to click on it here. I don't have an arrival airport. I just got to grab the slider more. Alright. Create flights. So the frame rate, this is typically been a frame killer for me. And it's already just hovering at 20. Just going to continue on. The other thing I gotta turn off is Squawk Box. Alright, admin enable. Alright, let's see, the CPU usage is still lower. Let's crank this down just a tiny bit. Let it restart. So I got a wedding to go photograph in a few hours. That's why I can't stream too long today. I can't get too distracted. I still got gear I got to set up. I got media cards to reformat, batteries to stuff inside flash units, and pants probably need ironing. That kind of good, the pretty stuff. Come on, load. People are really kind of seem like they're mad about this thing too. Yeah, I timed it out one day. It's about 5 minutes. On. Fuel pump, beacon light, fuel pump. Come on, fingers. Oh, just crashed again. Yep. Beta testing. Ooh. Maybe I'm gonna go with the Captain Duckman and just I do have an SSD for my startup drive. I just haven't. I kind of was running that one as my clean copy of X-Plane. Do we want to keep going? What time is it? It's 9:30. Wonder, thinking back why that would crash out. Alright, I don't think I'm going to have time to play anymore. I think you guys should go hit up your sim pits. And so now that's 2 crashes in a row. I haven't had that, so I'm going to have to think about that. So get an M2 card. Okay, I'll have to put that on my list of things to do. To get, I need a replacement hard drive for one inside my Mac tower. I run this off my PC, but the Mac needs a little bit of love for my photo editing. So that's going to be one of my next things. Yeah, I don't have enough time to keep going. Well, the 2 crashes in a row, I might wait for the beta 3. If fair for you to envy. That'd probably be my advice right now. No, there's no SSD that can hold that much ortho. Yeah, so it's probably something in World Traffic 3. Yeah, so Captain Duckman, what I did, I have kind of my startup drive on an SSD for my operating system, and then I have most of my games on a 3 terabyte, a 3 terabyte, like a regular drive. And then I have, like I said, a clean copy of X-Plane on that SSD drive, and really I just need to create links over to all that ortho scenery. And from what everybody, that seems to be the way everybody runs it, so they put their ortho on 2 or 3 huge hard drives. The guys that are wanting to document the whole of Europe and the United States and running huge amounts of hard drives. And it seems like with USB 3 and these super fast connectors, that once the scenery loads over, there's no issue. So they say there's that tiny little hiccup as it searches for the scenery. Yeah, so you have 8 terabyte drive of ortho only. Yeah, I just basically, my ortho is New England, the Northeast United States. I have a couple tiles that I experimented with, Arizona, Alaska, and a couple in Seattle. Yesterday's stream, somebody jumped on and asked me about ortho, and so we created a tile on while I was flying. It was pretty funny. We'd watch the ortho. My Cessna was upside down in a pond. It was pretty funny. Alright, I'm going to run. You guys have a great weekend. I'm busy like this afternoon. I'm crazy busy tomorrow. I'm making a trip up to New Hampshire Sunday to watch a Pop Warner football game with a friend of mine. So I don't know. Maybe Monday I'll come. Monday, no, I'm having teeth work done Monday morning. Maybe Tuesday will probably be realistically the next time I get the stream. So by that time, hopefully it'll be public beta 3 or 4, and we'll have stuff worked out a little bit. Yeah, thanks again for you guys for stopping by the channel. Thanks for the the advice and looking at talking about different mechanical stuff, hardware for the PCs, and thanks for not laughing too much at my misery as I crashed. Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one. I'm out.